Good afternoon, everybody. Bring this a little closer. How's everybody doing today? Happy Monday. Yay, it's Monday, Monday, Monday. Oh, nectar of the gods. How's everybody doing today? Hey, guys. Welcome in. Nice and early today. Trying to beat me to the punch, right? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing very good. It's my first day back to work after my time off. It was good. Thankfully, there wasn't a whole lot left uh, waiting and nobody bothered me while I was off. It was great. Totally wonderful. I rearranged some stuff you can see on screen. A lot of rearranging happened. Uh, the During our time off, and actually a long time before it, we were. It's funny. So we've been wanting to do a rearrange of our living space, and so like, some minor changes are, like, no big deal, we do that all the time, but this was going to end up being a big change, and we couldn't visualize it. So I found a website where you can do, like, a floor plan, and that helps my brain be able to see it, and so we sat there and we measured out, like, all the tables, all the furniture, all the big chunky stuff that has to move around and fit like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And laid it all out the way it already was, just to make sure that the measurements were also right for the lengths of the walls and all those things too. And then we started rearranging and finding ways where things might work. Found a organization that was like 90% there and then tweaked it, right? So we moved everything. So our this desk right here, I don't know how to describe it without just like drawing it or something, but I could do that on this. Not mind. Just a paper towel. So the way my desk used to be, right? So this section of our unit is kind of like an L shape, right? So it does this kind of thing. There's like a hallway down here. Uh, my work desk used to be here. And then where I used to paint at was here. And my computer desk, my personal computer desk was next to it. And then my partner's was next to that. And he had his own stuff set up, right? And our living room was over on this side. Well, we flipped everything basically. So his stuff is now over here. My painting stuff is now on the opposite wall. So I'm over here now. And my computer desk is here and my work desk is here. So instead of being up against windows here, all right, and the painting, all the windows being right in front of my face, and I couldn't even keep them open while I was painting because it just the lighting was a nightmare sometimes. And usually when I stream, the sun's going down, so it starts getting darker. So being by the window is a pain. So this side over here, it has no window. So I'm up against the wall, right? So everything is completely flipped. I'm facing opposite direction. The feng shui, the whatever you want to call it, is opposite now. But I like it over here. I like redesigned my work desk and it looks really cool. But this desk that we're sitting at is everything's sitting on it basically the same, right? With a small change, the screen that I had over to the left is now in front of me. And there's a blank wall in front of me that used to have our TVs mounted to it, right? So what I have is a plan. It's on the way. I've got a corkboard, like a black, like it's like a felt covered corkboard. I guess I'll see when it gets here what it's made out of. But it's a black corkboard that goes a little bit longer on both sides, the length of my desk, and it's going to be directly in front of me. And it's in a drawer somewhere over here. But I've got these. Yeah, here there. I got these. I hadn't even opened it to look at them yet. I got these like push pin thumbtack things, right? But I didn't want to send holes through what I was going to be pinning up. Obviously, this is in front of my painting desk, so I was going to put paintings in front of it, right? And references and like all the stuff I have to usually hunt for. Is this in the case? Because if so, I can just open this. That would be great. Open it. Come now. Open. Open, sesame. Yes, it's in a case. Oh, I could have opened this when I got it. Grant. There we go. Oh, there's two of them. Oh no, they're the pieces. Great. Well, you get to see what it is. So they're so freaking cool. This side is a regular like thumbtack, right? So I'll show you here, right? And it's like a cylindrical metal. These are magnets. So I'm going to be able to pin the bases of the thumbtacks, right, into the corkboard. And then I can put all of my painting stuff on that and put the magnet to pin it in place without actually putting holes in my paper, which I thought was the coolest little invention that someone came up with. So when that comes, it's supposed to come later this week. I'll set it up, and it probably will be next Monday. I can show you what it looks like. So I'm gonna be super excited for that. But that brings us to today. Well, you know what? All of these that stick upright stick right into the surface of the lid, so you can't actually close it while there's stuff in there. So I'll just set that in here. Save. This one is less damaging. I'll put that up. Today, though, the whole reason I brought all this mess up, not just because it's new and fresh, that's part of the reason. The rest is because I've got to catch up on what Kata said. What we're doing today is, let me flip this over. We're going to add some paintings to my wall above the corkboard. Paintings that are A3 paper in size. So this is one, right? This here's another, right? So right now I've only got two decent that I'm proud of A3 paper size paintings, right? So we're going to try to work on doing another one of these bookmark type ones today to go along with this. And in the future, if we need a fourth one to go across the space, then I'll do that. I hadn't really measured it, but I think we can probably get away with 3 with airspace in between and be okay. Right? So that way I can do like bookmark, Voyager, bookmarks. And we're probably going to keep with the theme of space, just because it makes sense to keep it all together, right? So that's today in a nutshell. Now, we drink some coffee and stop yakking for a moment, and then finally read what Gata said. Okay. Goddess said, "Hi, good. How are you? Doing well. Who looks good? I've been rearranging too. You know that is a nervous system response when we get thrown out of whack, as we all did after Minneapolis. So it's no surprise that we're all on organization kicks. That's our nervous system trying to get things back to feeling ordered. Well, that feels about right for many reasons. I am in fact doing some reorganizing while watching you. Excellent. Or I'm sorry. It depends on how you feel about organizing. Heck yeah. So we're going to do this with A3 paper. So let me move some stuff out of the way. I realized that, I realized that with my scene layout on Twitch, it's easier to see when I'm full screen. And I did have a separate full screen scene, but it was annoying me to switch to it. And I figured, why not just make my main scene be full screen? I still have the normal background behind it, but I haven't like resorted and organized things, right? But I'm kind of happy with it being full screen. It looks, I think, cleaner. There's less extra animated fluff and border stuff covering things up. And it gives you the best real estate to see everything on my desk that's going on. It's as zoomed as I can get it without literally putting a zoom control back on the camera, which I can do if we ever need to. But typically when I need to zoom, I can do it by doing this, just lifting it, right? So I think I can be okay with it like this. And can I just say, I love seeing you guys in the stream status in front of me. That's so very nice. It's so nice. I like that so much. I was always looking at it to the side, and it was hard to see because it was behind my microphone arm, and it was just bleh, obnoxious. So this is so much nicer. Let me grab some papier. Feel the papier. I remember my French right. Piece of paper. My whole 2 years of high school French, which I made like, I think I passed up to 71. Maybe it's 79. It was so long ago, who cares, other members? It was a while ago. Let's just say that. Well, that's not the right drawer. This one. Yeah. 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 Right. So, I also took this bookmark thing out so I can remind myself how I did it so I can replicate it. So we're probably going to need, I've got all the same types of tape out. I've got a ruler just in case I need to align where the tape goes, but I think we'll be able to figure it out because it's even. I did it intentionally to make it even for myself. So I've got the 1 inch tape that's going to be the outer border, taping it down to this cutting board. Then I've got some 1/2 inch tape that will do the cross and then cutting everything in half, half again, half again. And I should be pretty well spot on with when I did the original time, but that gives me the correct quantities. I also remember how long it took to paint this last time. So no guarantees that I finished this today because this one I made myself stay online for and it took forever to complete. I think it was like a 3 hour stream that day. So let me put this to the side for the moment and scoot it over here. Get all situated. And can I just say, uh, I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but boy, oh boy, after the pandemic, I because a lot of us that were working full time were lucky slash not lucky, depends on your point of view. I think lucky enough to be able to start working from home full time or nearly full time. Uh, that I wasn't walking as much. At work, we had at the time before the pandemic, we had 2 floors at our suite where our office is. And that got downsized and we lost the downstairs portion of it. So one, I lost stairs for regularly going up and down in the office. And then two, this the suite that we were on that we are still on now got shrunk in size. So it's a little bit smaller. We literally cut in half pretty much how much office space that we had. Because during the pandemic, we kind of downsized a little bit, got bought by another company, and we lessened our workforce. And then when we started hiring back people, nearly all of them were hired back remote because we were still in the pandemic, but we needed people. And that just kind of stayed the way things are. So a good majority of our people are remote. The people that were coming into the office go in basically only when they need to, like me. Um, and that's not enough to maintain keeping your body healthy just by moving. I used to be keeping pretty even keel uh, by going in the office all the time. And it was keeping me semi strong, at least keeping up with moving my own weight around. But in the years since, let me tell you, that has weakened so much that it doesn't take much for me to get worn out. And I want to do something about that, exercise. The evil, vile E word. Um, so I need to. And I found that out really bad this week while we were doing all the rearranging. During it was fine. I was fine with it. Everything was going all right. Moving around some really big, heavy stuff I didn't really do so well, but we got it done. But the day after, oh boy, did the back of my legs, my thighs hurt, and they are still hurting. And it's been like 3 days. So that more than anything tells me I need to get off my lazy butt and start moving around a bit more often. So I'm going to be doing my best to incorporate that somehow. I'll figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm tired of simple things hurting, you know? And the only way to fix that is to get off my duff. So I'm going to do my best. I think everything should be bright enough. We'll see how it goes. I made some changes as well to the camera setup slightly. The camera itself is the same, but I turned off the automatic, hang on, the exposure, the auto brightness, um, because I found that it was like over brightening a lot. Uh, and it made all of the colors, like everything got super like saturated and kind of washed out. And turning down the brightness on my lamp only made it where I couldn't see because it readjusted automatically right back up again. So what I've done now is the lamp I have over here, the light, uh, is at full blast, so I can see, and that makes it so that I was able to set, because again, I don't have a window in front of me anymore, so my light is far more controlled. I set the exposure manually for the camera. So now it should remain at the exact same brightness consistently all the time, day, night, weather, rain or shine, and it should hopefully be a lot more manageable. I can see, and I think you will see everything the same as each other. Uh, it's still going to take some tweaking. I noticed that when I look at the colors on my computer monitor, it's not necessarily the same as what I see in front of me. And I know color accuracy is really important, right? Especially when you're painting, someone's looking at a color and you're like, ooh, it's so pretty. Well, what if you're seeing it dull? I don't really know. So I'm going to, at some point, go back and try to match color accuracy on my camera and on my monitor, and then see if all of that matches what other people see on their devices. I'll probably use something neutral like my iPad or something so I can see it large and see if the colors on that match what I'm seeing everywhere else. And if that works for me, I'm satisfied for everybody else. I just realized I wanted to have a little better control over that because some things don't look the same to me in person as it does on camera. Like this right here, this looks like a really pretty. This alizarin crimson looks very like a cranberry kind of color. And I don't know how well that comes across on camera, but on my scene that I'm looking at on my main monitor, it looks pretty similar, um, but a little bit too vibrant. Weirdly, for me in person, it's a little bit more subdued red than that. It's more of like a blood red kind of color. So I want to work on adjusting all of these so it looks better for you guys. And in the long term, especially if I already send all of these things, all the VODs to YouTube. So anything I can do to try to adjust um, the VODs recording so that if I ever need to go back to them, they'll still look all right. Yammer, yammer, yammer. I know, right? Ah, every time I pull that tape, I feel like I'm going to smack myself in the face. All right. So this one right here, that looks okay. All right. All right. I remember this from before, from always. I need to really make sure my tape is amped down really hard because any little lip and the water was underneath it. I need to make sure to try not to be super heavy water, um, if I can help it. A little bit, but not a lot, because it will absolutely seep underneath. And it's probably dangerous for me to use soap if I want to do soap bubbles, because that has a way of lifting the adhesive on the tape as well sometimes. If you've ever seen the dragon, the kind of lightning dragon, the Chinese dragon one, that had that problem where the soap bubbles got underneath all of the masking tape that I put down and it leaked everywhere, everywhere. And it wasn't It ended up being kind of a happy accident because it turned everything into looking kind of like lightning bolts. So yeah, I went lightning dragon, and it worked out. Sometimes you just gotta roll the punches, and that was one of those days. All right. Okay, so that is all taped down edge to edge. And I think the layout works. I think doing it this way is good. At least when I'm doing horizontal, like larger stuff like this. Vertical, I'll just move my paper towel situation for um, getting rid of excess water and paint off to the side here vertically when I'm doing vertical stuff. But for now, I think this works really well. God, I love these paper towels. They're so soft. The Viva ones, great. All right, let's press this down. Let me see. Do I have? Not that it's too rigid. That will cut it. I think I'll probably use the back of this just to try to press down this. I don't want to scratch the paper underneath. So I'm just trying to kind of get the edge down really firmly. Just kind of lightly pressing. I'm barely pressing. I'm just doing like hand weight. And I just want to get the best possible seal around the edge. And this blue painter's tape usually does fairly well, unless it's overlapping on itself. Trying to do like a big patch, that does not work for me anyway. All right. That one can go. Let's go to one of these. All right. So we need to do right in the middle. So where's the middle? The open space. I'm reminding the open space. Let's do from edge to edge is 12. And that was a stupid way of measuring. There. 12. I can just look at the package. A3 is a very weird measurement. That's the problem. It's 16.53, so 16 and a half in length. Hey, New Vegas, welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Monday. So it's 16 and a half. So half of that is going to be 8 and a quarter. So let's look at that. 8 and a quarter, half. 8 and a quarter. That's all. 8 and a quarter is right here. Wow. Telling you, I need to get new glasses. Looking up close is so difficult. I'm going to do that. Before you know it, you're going to see me. Well, you're not going to see me, but before you know it, I'll have new glasses. All right. So we're going to do 8 and a quarter. This is halfway point. Halfway between that is going to be 4 and 1/8. So I'll go ahead and pre-mark that down. So we've got that. And then half of that is going to be 2 and 1/16. So we'll put that there. Oh, I need to do 2 and 1/16 here as well. That's right there. All right. And then let's do the same on this side. 2 and 1/16. Or is it? Wait, did I do that wrong? Yes. Yes, I did. Half, quarter, 8. Yeah. Oh, I'm also going from the edge and I shouldn't be. Don't worry about that. We're just going to get the middle. The middle is right. And then we'll cut that in half because that's where it's important. So that's from here to that mark is 7, and God, it's not even an exact amount because of how much I taped up. 7 3/4, roughly. I can't do that math in my head. Yeah. 3 and a half. to get to 7. So 3 1/4, 3 1/3. And yeah, that's weird. I'm going to do the math on a calculator to get exactly in half. But we're good for now. We know how to do the middle, and then we'll measure the other direction and we'll figure out the middle that way. And then we'll worry about the other middle section. Let me just eyeball it like I did originally, which I'm pretty sure is what I did. Now, let me read that. Um, Hey, there's a protest going on. I was watching against the building of an ICE concentration camp in MI, Missouri. Is there really one going in there? There shouldn't be any at all, but I'm just so tired. They're doing a good job of making me tired. I know some people are getting pissed off. Like, I'm pissed off too, but yeah, Michigan. Where's Missouri? MS? Or is that Mississippi? MO. MO is Missouri. I have to remember my state abbreviations. It's been a minute. Oh, I should probably do this over on this side. From there to there was 8 1/4. So up here, 8 1/4. It's right there. All right. Let's do our midpoint. We're going to run this right down the middle of that. Yeah, this ice stuff is exhausting. And by design, like overwhelm and do things before anyone can respond, and you just exhaust people. And then if you get enraged and fight back, they get you there too. So they just, yeah, those vile, evil people. I think that is in the middle. That's really difficult to tell. This is in the middle. This is in the middle. Great. Okay, so let's push from here up and push from here down. All right, that's one. Yes, so we have to go through this. It looks like it's in the middle. Yeah, it's pretty in the middle. Not purely looking for perfection, but as close as I can get would be good because this is going to go on my wall. And someday, perhaps, will be scanned in and I can turn into actual bookmarks like I originally planned. Grab them. Whoops. That's so close. I'm sorry. That was so loud. I'm sure. My coffee cup was right underneath the microphone. In fact, let me move some stuff around and I'll move it in a safer place. There we go. Okay. This will work. Let me just gently press this into the paper. I'm not pressing hard. I'm just kind of letting my hand weigh on it. And I'm just using like the edge of the back of a flat brush to, they call that, I think like woodworking and other things, they call it a burnisher, if I remember right. Burnishing tool, burnisher. But I'm just using it to kind of press the tape down into the paper to try to get a better seal. To try to stop leaks from happening. Okay. That should be good. If you didn't see because you came in late, let me show you what I'm working on. I'm going to be making another one like this, similar to this anyway. The goal is to have at least 3 paintings that I like in A3 paper format, like these two, because I'm going to put them up on my wall up above where I'm sitting right now. Right in front of me, I've got a corkboard coming later this week that I'm going to use push pins with magnets so I don't put holes in my paintings. And I'm going to use it to put up any references and anything in a spot that I can see in front of me. And then above that, I want to put these with at least one more. So the goal is to try to do basically the same thing we did here, like last year. Now we're going to try to do another one kind of like this. I'm going to keep to a space theme, though I may or may not add stars because I don't have a safe way to do stars over here just yet. Every time I try, this happens. Everything gets covered in stars, right? So my goal is to get something or make something out of cardboard to do, like a high school or middle school science project where you'd have like that one large board and then the two half-size ones in front of it. So it would fold open and you have like a little U shape to put your presentation in. The goal is to do that, but to put it behind me back here and go sideways and then out a little bit to shield everything around the paper. So that when I do stars in the future, I don't make a huge mess. Instead, I make a pretty mess on the cardboard. All right, let's grab another piece of tape. So our halfway point, my ear for a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here to here. Oh, that's handy. Here to here is 7.5. So between 7.5 is 3.25. No, 3.75. 3.75. Math. 3.5 times 2 would be 7. And then 2 times 1/4 is half. That gets me to that. So yes, 3.75. So 3.75, which is pretty much where I have the line right here already. So this one's right. So let's look at that. Oh, I need to do that up here too. So that was 3.75. And up here, let me try to do this in a way that doesn't make a huge mess. 3.75 is roughly here. All right. And on this side, let's make sure it's the same. 7.5. So yep, we're going to do 3.75. Okay. And then up here, 3.75 is roughly in here. Try it. Got some more tape. Yippee! Okay, so half. Okay, and then up here, half is there, right in the middle, roughly. Okay, that's half. Same deal. We'll press from the middle up, press from the middle down, right? And then let's take a look at tamping this down so it doesn't go anywhere. Again, I'm not pressing down. I'm just letting just the weight of it in my hand press down. I'm just kind of scratching the tape into the paper, especially if I can along the edges, because that's where the most leakage occurs. All right. And let's lift it up. Tuck that under. Okay. Let's do another one on the right side. Okay. And in the middle here is right there. Okay. Same deal. Middle up, middle down. Okay. And let's press it down gently. Trying to press this down only on the tape and not press down on the paper because I don't want to scratch or mar the surface. But it's better that I use a tool than my fingers. I don't get the oils of my fingers on it. Found that out from Krista, who sometimes comes in, K Arts. She told me that. Right? Okay. Let's tuck that one under. Now, before we figure out the middle, let's figure out halfway in all of these. So this is 3 3/4, 3 1/2. So that one's not quite the same. 3 1/2. A little less than 3 1/2. This one's, oh no, it's a little less than 3 1/2. Oh, I measured from the end like a dummy. Okay. Roughly 3 1/2. Okay. That I can work with. So half of 3 1/2 is going to be 1 3/4, right? Yeah, 1 3/4. Okay, so which is almost where I had this mark, but it's a little bit off. That's not coming off. It's fine. So 1 1/2, so 1 3/4. All right. Same deal. 1 3/4 is actually where the line is already, so that's good. This one is a little to the right. 1 3/4. So let's do it to the left. Right. And this one, I don't have a mark yet. So this one is right at 3 1/2. So this one will be right about there. Right. And same thing in reverse. Well, I need more room. Okay. You 1 3/4. You 1 3/4. Yeah, in case you're curious about the music, we've been I always love Japanese stuff. But at some point we have heard Tokyo or City Pop. And every now and then I play it like just for idle background music. And I was loving it so much earlier. I thought, hey, why not make a playlist? So I went ahead and did that. And I also put Apple Music back on screen on the bottom so you can see the track. So if you want to look it up in Apple Music, it's right there so you can check it out. I like Japanese City Pop. Excellent. Yeah, no, it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it was a kind of like a long playlist, like 3 hours and 20 minutes, but I started it about, I don't know, 40 minutes before I started streaming. So there's plenty to get through the stream. But yeah, if there's any that you know, feel free to put them in chat. I will try to come back through. I used to have a song request thing, but that was so janky, I couldn't keep using it. It just did not want to work right. It was through Stream Elements, but they just, man, it was just broken. It does not want to work well. And apparently it's not just me. Apparently a lot of people have issues with it. That's a long one. Yeah. Now it's pretty much in the middle. This one is not in the middle. I didn't even get that one right at all. Kind of did it again. Might is in the way of my lily light. There we go. That helped. Okay. Press that up, press that down. Yep. Turn my head sideways and it looks even. Press that down. Yeah, when we get to a point where I'm doing idle, like just painting, just letting it flow or not talking about it, I may stop talking for a bit and just crank the music up, and we'll just sit here and just chill. Heck yeah. All right. So another. I really like the new spot. I just moved. I don't think you were here when I was talking about it, New Vegas, but I moved desk locations. So I'm on the opposite side of the room where I was. Changed the whole feng shui of the room a little bit. Uh, Press. Press. All right. There's also a singer who sings some Japanese city pop songs in English named Caitlin Myers. Why is that name familiar? It probably isn't. I think it's just a common enough name, or at least both halves of it are common. Caitlin Myers. Yeah, I'll have to check them out. I wonder if they're in Apple Music. Well, if so, we can add them. Press as the one, yes. She's on YouTube right now. Let's see. There they are. Oh, yep. They absolutely have a 2021 album called City Poppin' on Apple Music. I will add them to the bottom of this existing playlist. May not get to it today, but it's on there, so we'll listen to them sometime for sure. Because I just want to keep adding to this playlist, and then I'll at some point once there's a whole bunch, I'll start randomizing this one. But for now, it's okay. Confirmed. Yep, it made it to the bottom of the list. The list is now 3 hours and 57 minutes long. All right. The more, the better. Okay. All right. And make sure that's aligned. There we go. Some nice like vertical jail bars for you guys. All right. Yeah. All right. Outline half. Here. Nope. Yes. And this one. And nope. Good. Close enough. Yes. No. No, maybe not. Okay. Up and down. Same dealio. Choppa, choppa, choppa. Uh, yeah, we're already 50 minutes in. There's no way I'm going to get this done today, but we're going to get it started. And if anything, it'll sit here until Thursday and we'll finish it off then. The last time I did these, the other one I showed earlier, it took like a 3-hour stream to both tape it and paint it. So I definitely will go until 2 hours today and stop, and then we'll pick up on Thursday. Okay. We got loads of time though. We got more than an hour. That is half and half. Great. God, that's so high. Yay. Yay for the people coming together against bad things. Agreed. It amazes me more than anything that people are so lethargic to this taking so long to make change against this. Makes it very scary that it's this easy to mislead and hurt people. All it takes is someone with enough gumption to do it, and we can be hurt negatively. The fact the system allows that is so dangerous, and yet makes it so restrictive to do positive change, permanent change. It's messed up. Messed up, indeed. Oops. Gosh, I'm sorry. I keep smacking the mic with my coffee cup. That's got to not sound good. I'm so sorry. Sorry on the phone today, not watching chat, but turning it on TV now. Yay. No problem, Goddess. You're fine. Ooh, the halfway point. Let's do the halfway. So here, we're 10 and a half, roughly 10 and a half. So 5 1/4 will get us there. 5 1/4 is roughly right here. Okay. And then this side, make sure it's the same 10, 10 and a half ish. This 5 1/4 is roughly here. All right. I think that'll be it for the ruler, it for the pencil. Let's get this last piece of tape on here and we can get started. Don't worry, it's all going to change soon. I certainly hope so. I think we all need to change. Hopefully the change is from bad to good and not bad to worse, right? Okay, let's press this down. Oops, that went off kilter. Let's fix that. Lift it up. Come on. Let's not totally screw up the tape on the side. Yep, that side got pushed down, but we're just gonna tamp it down really hard and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. I hope so. Yeah, right. Me too. A lot of us too. I saw that. I saw that about I saw the tariffs got not repealed yet. I guess they're repealed, but proven illegal. Downside being that if anyone does get paid back, the government's going to make it really difficult for people to get their money back. And it's going to be going to the importers and not the people that actually paid the import fees, us. So we're all getting shafted both directions. Is it terrible to say that I wish that the big fat orange would hear something so distressing that it would make his heart give out? I know we shouldn't wish ill on people, but man, you just wish that would the big one would come and just I'm gonna shut up. Secret Service will show up at the door. Um, you. I'm gonna pick on this one today. Let me put my paper up. Right. And prices aren't going to go down just because their cost went down. They're just going to call it a win and extra profit. We'll see. I think they might go down. I don't think they're going to go down to what they were prior because people have gotten used to paying it. Yeah. I know, right? In a normal country, Trump would be out of power by now or not even elected. Unfortunately, we have a lot of misguided people. I think that's probably the best and most polite way to put it. There are some very terribly misguided and misdirected people. That's just it's the country we live in, and all the lines are drawn so that everything is semi evened out, and the bad ones have more power than they should. It's just I don't know. Like, how do you fix that? Legitimately, how do you fix that? I think the only thing that's going to fix it truly is time. I said it before, but I think time will heal everything in the grand scheme of things. It won't be our lifetime, not fully, but I feel like if we let nature take its course, things are generally trending better. They're not truly trending worse. There's obviously times where the needle goes the wrong direction, like it does now, but tends to go more the right direction in the grand scheme of things. Compare us now to how we were 100 years ago, or 200 years, or 500 years ago, right? Is we're shifting toward goodness, we're shifting toward intelligence. It just takes generational change. You know, the children of the people that are wrong need to see that their parents were wrong and they make change for themselves and their children. Their children will push hopefully further in the right direction as well. And I just hoping over time it will thin itself out a little bit. I'm wondering what happens to Andrew. He knows too much and no longer has the protection of the royals. I don't know. History repeats itself? Boy, it sure does. It sure does. The overarching motion is still forward. It is. I still feel there's a war coming. And it's the scarier and scarier kinds, right? The weapons of war have only gotten worse even when we're not technically in wartime. But when the time comes, and if there is some sort of war, potentially even a civil war, which would be detrimental as hell, if not nuke the whole planet worthy, um, it's it's going to be dangerous. It's not just about who's a good person, who's a bad person. It's going to be who has the best technology that kills people. And that's just the wrong, obviously, the wrong viewpoint to take. But the evil ones are going to want to use that power immediately and wipe out the good ones. As soon as that's unleashed and they're allowed, we'll push the button. It'll be over in minutes. You know, that's the level that it's gotten to. Like, it won't take much, right? They keep pushing and pushing and pushing people. People are going to snap. And the one time that 1% on the good side goes bad, that'll be like the lightning rod they need to just go off and go nuts. It's so depressing. Okay, let's not talk about this negative shit anymore. Let's get some paint on paper. Let me go ahead and spray everything down. I might even use that one. Okay, so what we're gonna do, let's think about it. So I'll probably get some water down, just a little amount because I don't want it seeping underneath the tape, and then just start doing random nebula. Some I'm gonna do random, and then I think a couple spots. Excuse me, so sorry. I'm sorry, I had like a random air bubble. I just could not stop. Um, some of them I'm gonna do a little research online, and I'm gonna look up some nebula that exist, and I'm gonna try to replicate some. Not perfectly. Coffee, thank you. Let's do that. Uh, um, They're waging war on our nervous systems. It's shock and awe. Their war is psychological now, which is scary because they're not super intelligent, right? I mean, some are just enough to be fiendish, but I think overall, the ones that are currently in power, the ones that are being pushed into power further, are not the brightest bulbs in the bunch. You know, some are, but yeah, it's so weird. Like with, I don't know, I don't know. I don't want to overspeak. I mean, I already am, but yeah, if we control our nervous system, that's the good news. Just search for information about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. We all have the power. It's true, goddess, but it only takes one person. You know what I mean? And getting basically the knowledge to learn to control your emotions out to the entire United States is not going to work. You can push the words out, and a lot of people will listen, but all it takes is one person who didn't get the memo and who just can't take it anymore, who changes it for everyone. It's always the one person in the classroom that's disruptive that messes it up for the class, right? And it's just, how do you stop that? Can't. All you can do is be ready for damage control. If there's any damage left, that's fixable. Super depressing. Ugh. But I hate it. All right. I am going to go silent for a bit because the more I talk, the more I cough and choke and do stupid stuff. Even over my time off, my other half was like having the worst allergies, and I had like 10% for a couple days there where I got dry. But I realize now I haven't been talking a whole lot since then, and it's not a good thing. So I'm going to simmer the talking, and I'm just going to go music high, voice low. I'm fine. It's just, it's the time of year where everything's just starting to bloom. Just it was warm enough here that everything started blooming, or some stuff did, and I think the pollen is just going nuts. And we take Claritin, and it tempers it a lot, but some stuff still gets through. It's just physics, nature. So I'm just gonna not talk as much. I'll be here. Feel free to chat, but I am going to focus more on getting some stuff down on paper and the remaining hour that we've got. If anything really crazy happens, I will mention back. I'll talk back and I'll unmute, but I'm going to be on mute so I can make all of my human noises in privacy. It won't happen. Don't worry. The interdimensional beings are not going to allow us to destroy each other completely. Everything's about to change. Whoa. 2026 to 2027 to 2030. Though I'm a true believer, it's a little easier for me because I actually believe it. I'm I'm open to possibilities. It's just, you know, they're not. They just want to push their vileness, and unfortunately, they're in power right now, and they can make change before anyone can stop it. And it seems like half the time nobody wants to stop it. I think what's happening, it's funny. It feels like the long game in a way. It feels like there is some smartness in it. The first time through for the big fat orange, I believe they tried to impeach him, and they couldn't because there wasn't enough evidence. Now it feels like Dems have gone the opposite side of that, and they're not trying to impeach until there's overwhelming evidence that they will win, right? So I think we need enough evidence for the impeachment to be a removal from office as well, Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Like, who jails the jailers? That's what it is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and crank up the music. I'm going to mute myself. Feel free to remain, hang out, chat. I'll glance up at chat every now and then. If I see anything really fun and crazy, I will unmute and respond. But otherwise, I am going silent for a bit. All right. All right. You are right, first of all, New Vegas. Caitlin is really good. What is this? Oh, I got something on me. Uh, well, we got more done today than I thought. I think we're gonna finish it. DDO, hey, welcome in. Success, you got a roll of those beauties since I tuned in taping of the paper. Oh, excellent. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate you being here. Always. And New Vegas, the look real cool. It reminds me of tie-dye shirts. Yeah, I saw that earlier. It totally does have a tie-dye look to it, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get this done, but I mean, I may as well put stars on it now. Right. This guy. Okay. I tried to protect what I could. I'm gonna move the mic over. I'm gonna move over everything that might get damaged. Let's get some stars on here and we can call it. So I am going to grab some clean water and add it to the white acrylic I have in here. And let's get some stars flicked on here. Get some more water. And that's it. It's weird. Caitlin sounds a lot like a VTuber, a voice of a VTuber. And I can't place who, but someone that I remember singing with someone else in some songs. Probably not, but she's got a similar voice to someone. I can't tell you who. I can't remember, but someone who sang with Shia Bun, who I like watching. Right, that's good for big stars. Let me grab the toothbrush and I can do some fine stars in there in a couple spots, and I think we'll call it. This is acrylic ink, and these are my good brushes, so I'm making sure to really clean them off. Barely DDL was drawing Peter Cottontails and Meow Meows with her ink last stream. It was cool. No kidding. Wait, did I not see a reminder? Now I'm Now I need to go check to make sure everything is followed properly. I am. It's just sometimes I don't get notifications when people come online. I don't know if it's because I have too many people followed. I don't know. Okay, that's cleaned to death. Let's get that over. Let's get a. Hang on now. Where is it? In here. Oh, oh, come on. I misplaced it. There. Oh, no, there it is. Got it. It's right here. Yeah, let me finish this up before the acrylic gets too dry, and I will look them up really quick. I know which song it is, mostly. I have to find it. You Let me clean up my mess, and we'll do some final drying passes with the heat gun and clean up my toothbrush, and then maybe look at myself in a mirror to make sure I didn't get any on my face. I think I actually got some of my glasses. I'll have to peel off in a second. I'll leave this away. Okay. I'll put these up later. Let me look at a song. Why can't I remember? Hold that thought. Let's go. I think it's on YouTube. Uh, I need this. Yep, yep, yep. And then look for. Oh, I know the song, but because it's not on Apple Music, I don't hear it. I just have to find it. Oh, here it is. Uh, the VTuber that I'm remembering is Sugi Aoki. Not quite sure I'm getting the name right, but let me find it and play it really quick. Uh, that one is open. Let me crank this a little bit so you can hear it. And hopefully y'all won't go deaf. I won't have it too loud. I'm gonna pause Apple Music. Okay. And then I need that and that. And let me open that. Oh yeah, that was super loud. Sorry. I'm gonna turn that down. Don't go deaf, yo. Okay. And I need uh, this one. Yeah. Hopefully that's quieter. Oh, Yeah. So that was that. Oh, and you fix the audio. There we go. Took that moment to work on drawing the stars. All right. Woof. Okay. Might be damp in a few areas, but I think we can go ahead and peel. Hopefully we have clean pulls, and if not, we'll try to fix it after the fact with some white acrylic or something. It's always a peel that makes something go from looking like garbage to looking halfway decent. Always. Every single time. It's like, wow, look at that muddy mess that I made. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. You know, it's always a transformation when you peel the tape. This is great. I've been wanting to make another one of these for a while. I'm glad this kind of pushed me into making the decision to get it done. All right, let's do the outer tape, and I think we'll be done. I'll hold it up for you guys to look at. Uh, this was last. The reason I think they sound like a VTuber is because that's exactly what VTubers originated as, was supposed to be anime girls, Japanese anime girls. It's just they replicate the sound incredibly well. Welcome back. We're almost done. Everything is peeling nicely. Oh, that was from another time. We are. Wow. I mean, the section I thought was going to be ruined for sure was actually pretty clean. This right side was super wet. Yeah, wow, it came out good. How's it on the back? Probably a little damp. I need some time to let it sit out overnight and dry. But yeah, it came out pretty good, guys. Let me turn it this way and we can hold it up and kind of scroll through them. That one looks kind of like a Japanese, or not Japanese, a Chinese dragon. I like that one. Focus. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Next to the other one, right? I realized I was supposed to make some of these look like actual nebula, but I forgot. Still, that's good. Everything lines up well. So once it's in a frame, I think they'll look fairly well matching. Excellent. I'm happy with how that came out. And when it dries, oh, where are you? Hey, nice. When it dries, I've got a frame ready to go. I have to peel all the crap off of it, but ready to go when it's dry. So I'll do that probably tomorrow. Excellent. It's just 4 a.m. I've heard it. It's one of the ones that made me want to make this list. I weirdly don't have it on here, I think, but I was playing that earlier just over YouTube. Let me fix this. Just re-fanning out my fan brush. There we go. There we go. Guys, I'm done. I am going to call it a night. The timing on that couldn't be better. Everybody, thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I am going to go offline and I'll be back on Thursday. Please check out everybody who's here in chat. Nearly everybody here streams and does absolutely amazing things. My keyboard is way over there, so I would go grab it in a minute and type stuff, but it would be really difficult. So thank you guys so much. Love you all for being here. My name is Bear. I want to say I was barely watercoloring, but I think it came out all right today. And that one right there is pretty. That blue one right there. With all the, you see how it's separated out and granulated around it? That came out great. I'm gonna have to use lunar black more often, especially on space stuff. All right. Okay, guys. Have a great night. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.